big Monday night football game, as we know, Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. And joining us right here is the all-world quarterback of the current one-seeded Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. Good talking to you.
What goes through your mind on a big game like this week? What do you got for me?
Well, honestly, like all the games, they feel big to me. They all feel the same. If they're all big, none of them are big. So that's the mindset that we have. It's the next one in our progression. We understand the implications that come along with this game, but our main focus is to make this a one-game season and do whatever we need to do to try to win a football game.
Okay, so you put it in a box. Is that basically what you're saying? You put the game in a box just this week?
Yeah.
That's it?
Well, yeah, I think that's the mindset that we've always had here. It's all about the next game, and we're not trying to make any game bigger than the next. So this is the biggest game because it's the next one. And again, I know it sounds cliche and you probably want a different answer, but that's honestly how we feel in this locker room. We're just trying to find a way to go have a good week of practice and execute come Monday night.
And I'll ask you this because we've spoken before. What do you think my answer wants to be? I mean, when you said that, what do you think I'm looking for? What do you think, Josh?
Not falling for it. Good try though. Good try.
Like, I want you to denigrate Joe Burrow. You're going to crush him. You want, I'm not a bulletin board material guy. I'm like literally wondering where you are in your career for a game like this Monday Night Football. That's all I'm looking for.
I now respect that about you.
Okay, good. I'm glad that, mutual respect. So what is your relationship with Burrow like? Have you been around him enough to have one at all?
Yeah. We've shared a lot of conversations in the past, and obviously he trained with Jordan Palmer. I was out there quite a bit and getting to know him there, spend some time with him off the field a little bit as well. The dude is all football. Like he's 1000% bought in, and it's so cool to watch how he's kind of progressed. And we know about the injury in the first year, and then obviously second year coming in, setting the world on fire and carrying it over into this year. And he really is. He's a great dude. His story's fantastic. Going to Ohio State, grew up in Ohio, didn't really work out there, going to LSU. And then that second year in LSU maybe had the greatest college season of all time. And it's really cool. Like that's like, they make movies out of that stuff, So I respect him so freaking much on and off the field. He's a great dude. He's a great football player. He seems like he's a leader of men. His teammates respect him. And that's really all there is to say about him.
So when you said he's 1000% all ball, you got a good story to illustrate that, where it first dawned on you, struck you like, okay, this guy's all ball. Like,
no, I mean, he's just like, even throwing, like me, Sam Darnold and Kyle Allen. Like when we're out there throwing, I'm usually messing around. They're trying to focus up, but I'm usually distracting them a little bit. Mm-hmm. Joe, you can't distract him. He is just stone cold. He's almost emotionless. Like he's just, I'm working on my craft right now. And it's really cool.
And then, you mentioned about great stories. Obviously you've got one of your own, Josh. And and again, I know you're taking week to week here and you're putting things in a box, and I've been around this game a while. And when I first started doing NFL Network, and for the first 15 years of NFL Network, pretty much the AFC quarterbacks that had a shot to make the Super Bowl or made it or went far into the playoffs were Brady, Peyton, and Big Ben. Like that was just like a cycle for a long time of three quarterbacks. And right now, with the due respect to everyone else, we're looking at you and Burrow, obviously, and Mahomes is another. Does that strike you at any moment in time? Go, wow, like I'm part of this mix now in the NFL. I'm considered, or I've played myself into that position.
I mean, when you put it that way, it sounds really cool. It's surreal to be mentioned in the same breath as those three guys that you mentioned. But I don't really take time to think about that. I'm just trying to be the best quarterback that I can be here for the Bills, and all that stuff again is all, I'd say, media narrative, and that's media driven. And I know the fans love it, but I'm just trying to find a way to continue to get better here and finally close the deal on a Super Bowl. We've been close a couple years, and that's our main goal that we set out each and every year. And every year that we don't win it, it just, it hurts. So just trying to push through that right now. And obviously there's still a lot of time left, and we're focused on Monday night right now, but we're focused on trying to win a Super Bowl. That's what we want to do.
Josh Allen here on the Rich Eisen Show, also Monday Night Football prior to the Monday night game against the Bengals. What has been your biggest challenge this year for you, Josh?
Yeah, well, I think halfway through the season, the elbow injury that I sustained, I didn't miss any time from it. That was a long couple of weeks there of just staying in the training room, making sure I was getting as much rehab as possible. And then again, just trying to be better. Every time I look at my kind of old self, it's like, all right, why are my eyes starting here? Why didn't I recognize this as cover two? Why didn't I get to my check down here? And it's fighting that battle inside of me of like, I can make all these throws and I can force one here and it's going to be all right. But also trusting the other 10 guys on the football field and making the smart play and trying to be an extension of Coach Dorsey, our offensive coordinator, when I'm on the field, and just trying to, learn the nuances and ins and outs of how to consistently, win games in the NFL.
Is that decision making in the moment skills? Is that what you're also referring to?
First, yeah, I definitely say that. And again, there's times where it calls for those split second, like I've got like risk reward type plays, like how much am I risking? How much can I gain from it? Where sometimes those differences are so small to me, I forget to kind of think about the reward. And yeah, that's what we've been working on. And over the last few weeks, we've been working, keeping the ball out of the other team's hands. Last week got a little off of that. So just trying to get back to playing smart football. And
then deciding when to use your legs and shoulder, lowering it and things like that. I mean, I'm wondering how that works between the temples in real time.
That plays into it. I think that's mostly dictated on flow of the game, down and distance. But again, if we need a spark and I got to do something like that, I'm willing to do it.
Josh Allen, a few more minutes left here with the Bills quarterback, the Bengals in particular. What have you seen on film? What are you talking about? What keys are you willing to make public here?
Yeah, I think their defensive line, they don't have the sack numbers this year, but they've been extremely disruptive in the pass front. They got two defensive ends that are, very high motor, relentless attackers that they can get to the quarterback. So, making sure we're good with protection, understanding that. I think obviously Logan Wilson, I played with him in Wyoming. He's a heck of a talent. He's flying all over the field, making plays. It's so awesome to see him doing that. And I think their safety tandem is one of the better in the league. I think, Bates, especially, just recognizing routes when they're in their post high. And he gets a little low sometimes, but he's understanding what the concepts of the opposing team is running. And he's just trying to make a play. And he's made quite a few for them over the years. And even going back to my second year playing the Bengals, he's like the guy that we had to key. Like he's a heck of a player. He's a ball hawk. He's smart. He's savvy. And he's been a really long player in this league for a long time. And he continues to make plays. So, other than that, again, they're just high energy. They're playing great football right now. I think they're on a 6-game win streak. So, we're going to have our hands full.
So, before I let you go here, I'm waving the wand and making you the commissioner of the NFL, Josh Allen. Congratulations. You've got a pay raise. I'll
take the jet.
Okay, sounds good. I'll get you hooked up. But for the moment, I've just waved the wand. You're the commissioner of the NFL. Okay. Rule change. You make a rule change. Josh Allen can make a rule change, and you could just go into the competition committee and pound the table and say, "This is it. This is what I want." What is it?
That's a very good question. I think. Oh man, there's so many directions I can go in here. We've got a guy on our staff. His name's Mark Lubick, and he is basically the encyclopedia, or he's the NFL rulebook. Like he's got everything. He's got all the answers. He's very smart. And I always talk about throwing the ball downfield. If a receiver can catch it on one leg and throw the ball downfield, that's technically an illegal forward pass, but he never gains possession of it. So I just eliminate that rule altogether. If you can catch the ball with one leg and chuck it down the field if you catch it one-handed and chuck it down the field, more power to you. So I think that's the one rule I would change is the double or legal forward pass.
Oh, this is fantastic. I've asked this question of many folks in my day. Never heard this. So let me just, okay. Josh Allen, you fade back to pass. You got a nice clean pocket. Okay. Your guys are protecting you. You see him, and you know who I mean by him. By the way, do you refer to Stephon Diggs as him? Do you ever call him
That's
that?
him.
Okay.
He's him.
So you see him. Him is open. You hit him. him grabs it with one hand and or both hands are fine. He's just got to be on one leg when he catches it. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, again, the whole rule of a catch is 2 feet plus a football move, correct?
Right.
So
yes.
if you don't have 2 feet and make a football move, you technically don't have possession of the ball.
That's true.
So therefore, you could pass the ball further downfield.
Okay, Gabe Davis is now open because everybody thinks the ball's going to him because you have thrown it to him. So
Correct.
Stephon Diggs, before touching his second foot down on the ground, can throw it to Gabe Davis for a touchdown. That's the
correct.
Josh
And
Allen.
like you've seen, like DBs, right? The quarterback throws the ball to bounds, but a DB makes a jumping catch and he throws it back into the field of play.
Yes.
Right. You've seen those.
There was an interception just, I think, last week, 2 weeks
yes,
ago on something.
it was
like
in
that.
the end zone. It was Titans, right?
Yeah, right. Yes.
Rookie,
Titans.
Roger McCreary.
Yeah.
And made a heck of a play. But again, did the ball go forward? Is that technically an illegal forward pass? They're never going to call it on the defense, but eliminate it just completely.
So the offense, wow. Okay.
Outside the box there for you.
Way out of the box. So you've had these conversations internally? You've had them?
Yes. And then there's and then there's another one. It's
okay.
If a punter just got the ball and instead of punting it, just kind of got low and threw it up as high as he could, like it's free game at that point. And I don't know if this is really more like a scenario, not a rule.
Sure.
But I want to see it live in a game, and like your gunners can now catch the ball. And I don't know, would the kick returner see that as a throw, as a kick? Would he tell his guys to peter and get away from it?
Yes.
It's an easy completion for the offense.
Right. So
yeah,
like
I've always thought about that play too.
A punt Mary? Is that what we would call that?
Yeah.
A punt Mary. So again, the key would be for the punter to have the presence of mind to duck down so nobody could see whether when the ball comes out, if it comes off his foot or he's thrown it, to look like a punt.
Correct.
I like it.
Because if it's short, that returner is going Peter, and all of a sudden the defenders are just flying off the field, and you have two gunners right there to catch the ball. Might be a walk-in.
Fantastic. Food for thought, man. This is great. I love both of these ideas. The other one would change the game, just like where the receiver can actually, because he hasn't technically had possession yet, he could still just catapult it forward. I like it, Josh. You're a thinker, you're a player, you're a thrower. And I appreciate you coming on the show, brother. Have a great Monday night, and we'll chat down the line.
Sounds good, Rich.
You got
God bless.
The one and only Josh Allen right here, coming up with crazy ass ideas prior to Monday Night Football.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.